Today, we're going to start with an exercise. I'm going to ask everyone here to raise their hand for me. Now raise your hand higher. Ask yourself, why did you not give 100% the first time? Why don't we make that effort every time? It's how we perceive and understand adversity. This is me. When I was 8, my mom asked me if I wanted to try Taekwondo. She said if I didn't like it, I didn't have to come back. 20 push-ups, burpees, squats, and jumping jacks later, kicking and punching for the very first time, my mom fully expected me to quit. But the discipline was new to me, and I was excited. Fast forward to my 12th birthday, my instructor said I was ready to start the challenge of preparing for my black belt test. It was a year away, and I was ready to start the challenge. One day, I felt a pain in my knees, but I ignored it. To shorten the story, when I finally saw my doctor, he told me to stop Taekwondo for a minimum of 6 months. Black belt tests have many aspects, and the majority of them are physical and require training. Hearing I couldn't train for 6 months really hit me, and my test would be delayed. I had a decision to make. Do I prepare for 4 months, a year, or the last option, which looked really appealing to me at the time, quit entirely? 7 years later, I got my black belt. It wasn't easy. It took time, effort, consistency, and resilience. What made me consider giving up? It was overwhelming. I was facing adversity. What is adversity? To me, it refers to the challenges embedded in our daily lives. But according to the Merriam-Webster dictionary, adversity is a state of difficulty or misfortune. Have you ever had a test the very next day and realized you weren't prepared? I'm thinking of a time right now, and I'm sure you all are too. I'm also sure many of you decided to give in to the test, this predetermined endpoint, without bothering to start studying. On the other hand, I am also sure that some of you started to review whatever you could in preparation for this test. This is an example of adversity. We're choosing from what feels like an easier option and a hard one. What do you think when you see this? What we see is a child struggling to get clean water. You might think a test isn't real adversity, but this is. However, both are examples of adversity, but they are very different. Think of adversity as a scale. Both of these images show challenges, and no matter the difficulty, they are still examples of adversity. The Stanford Resilience Project explains that adversity comes in all forms, from minor setbacks like failing a test to major life challenges like loss and systemic inequality. You have been facing adversity for your entire life. Do you remember learning how to walk? What about riding your bike? How about tying your shoelaces? All of these are challenges we have faced in our lives. Let's look at the example of when we learned to walk. Uh-oh. It was normal to fall. We were used to crawling to get where we needed to go. We fell a lot. We bumped our heads and we cried. We even got frustrated, but we would always try again, eventually learning how to walk. The adversity is not in learning these things. It's how you felt in these moments because the task was hard. Our idea of normal was disrupted, and we had to keep going. That is resilience. Let's go back to this example of a test tomorrow. Sure, we can acknowledge that this example has a time restraint on it, and walking did not. But I want you to ask yourself what the difference is between these two challenges. Is it harder to recognize these as challenges? Psychology Today explains that reframing challenges is essential to resilience. People who see and struggle for opportunity instead of setbacks experience greater long-term success. Instead of seeing my break from Taekwondo as a roadblock, I saw it as time to recover and prepare. In physio, I trained in whatever ways I could and took my test in June without delay. Your challenges are valid. Whether it's a test, an injury, or something larger, your adversity matters. The teenage brain is wired to learn and adapt, meaning that every challenge you face can build resilience. Your struggle is yours. Don't compare. Your friends' challenges are different from yours, and that's okay. Research from the Resilience Project shows that acknowledging personal struggles leads to better emotional regulation and growth. You are not alone. Look at this visual. You have direct support, family, friends, teachers, community support, and societal support. The Institute for Educational Initiatives have shown that strong support systems help adolescents turn adversity into growth. Adversity isn't the end of a road, it's just a detour. Whether it's failing a test, recovering from an injury, or facing something much bigger, challenges don't define us. How we respond to them and start seeing them does. When we shift our mindset, we stop seeing obstacles as roadblocks and start seeing them as stepping stones. Like my black belt journey, adversity forces us to pause, rethink, and push forward in new ways. So the next time you hit a setback, ask yourself, is this my wall or is this my push forward? Surround yourself with your circle of support, whether that's family, friends, mentors, or even online resources, like Institute for Educational Initiatives. Adversity will always be a part of your life, but with the right mindset, it doesn't have to hold you back. Instead, it could be the very thing that propels you forward. An endpoint is never an endpoint. It's the start of the beginning. Thank you.